you guys? Oh, what a day. It has been a day. My goodness. Welcome to Monday Night Inking. This is your usually scheduled inking programming. What a day it has been. What a day. So I posted, as you probably saw, and I'm just talking for like the future viewers now. Oh, everyone's jumping in already. Hello. My goodness. Everyone's jumping in. Well, as I was saying to nobody right before you started showing up, as you probably saw, I posted my my sketchbook volume 4, which came in the mail technically a few days ago, but I was on a trip, so there was no point in posting it. But it really blew up. A lot of you guys ordered one. I filled so many orders today. I did not expect to be doing any of that today. And I was really surprised and really pleased. It was very flattering. Thank you so much, everyone who bought one of those sketchbooks. It was a real honor. And now I'm distracted by the inking again. So yeah, I'm going to keep working on this page, which I've largely been putting off so that I can do it for you guys and for secret behind-the-scenes podcast recordings. But I should be wrapping this up soon, and I'm making good progress on some of the other stuff, including the cover, which I've been posting teasers of. So I may be sharing that to some extent in a bit as well. Let's see. We got all kinds of people jumping in. Look at everybody. Hello. Good to see you guys. All right, let's see here. Nice. I found an actual good position for the phone today so I can get my face about as close as I want to without it crowding your vision. Yeah, I am literally crashing a little bit now because I had like such high adrenaline for a while there. I was so surprised by the orders just kind of pouring in, and it was great. You know, it's a good adrenaline, but you come down from all those things. Let's see, where's the rest of her go? And we'll do this. There we are. Okay, let's get these big old eyelashes. Again, like I said last time, I was really happy with the different types of faces I got here. And this is even within one ethnicity, that I can get them all looking this different. So that was really pleasing for me, because I have struggled with, like, you know, they call it same face syndrome, where all your characters kind of look alike. But studying and honing up on your anatomy really helps that. Check see for comments. Oh, everyone's just jumping in and waving. Really happy with what the anatomy studies have done for my mouths. Because before they were very samey, and they were very boring, and they had no life to them. They were just sort of like lines, boring lines. But now I can do like lips, I can do different kinds of lips, I can do expressions. So that's very exciting. Fill this in. Oh, Firehawk. Hello. Everyone has jumped in so fast this time that I sort of missed my usuals. There's Brian. Hello. Got a couple familiar faces in here. Cartoon Crack has a heart face. Thank you. But yes, to reiterate for new watchers, for people who just joined, I launched Sketchbook Volume 5 today, and it has been selling like hotcakes. like I am worn out from how well it sold today. It's very exciting. And there's still unfilled orders for tomorrow. It's an awesome time. Both Cartoon Crack and Brian say hi. Hello to both of you. All right, let's see. What am I going to do with these? Do some rendering out there. Firehawk says, do we DM you to grab one? Yep. Just jump right in there. Let me know you want one. I could probably remember if there weren't so many of you, but for convenience, just, yeah, hop on DM so I have a record of it. There we go. Do that. And thank you, of course. Thank you so much. Appreciate every single one of you so much. I feel very loved. My small business is very supported by you guys at the moment, and I appreciate that very much. Joey, you just bought me a badge. Joey, you spent too much money on me today. You already bought a sketchbook. I'm so spoiled. I feel like I say that every time. You guys spoil me, but you do. Let's get this eyebrow here. Eyebrows, too. I've got a diversity in eyebrows as well now. Like, all these ladies have their own type of eyebrows. It's so exciting when you actually learn things. When you actually learn things you can apply. That's so empowering. There's that. Detached 30 says, great work, deserves a reward. Well, thank you. Assuming you're referring to me. And not making a true but abstract statement. I appreciate that. Let's see. So I think she has coarser hair. I might use dry brush for it. But let me get these eyelashes. Those big old eyelashes. Cartoon Crack says hi again. Hello. Friendly. Let's see. See, she's dark-haired, so she can have pretty big eyelashes. Like the blonde, I went and just made the executive decision to have no eyelashes at all. Like, she'd be such light eyebrows. All right, let's see. Cartoon Crack just says, sure. Sorry, I don't mean to make fun of you. I'm just in a weird headspace. I'm all crashing and full of the day's adrenaline. Let's get these irises drawn in here. Oops, sorry. That was my face. I just collided with my face. Cartoon Crack says, it's priceless what you're doing. Well, thank you. That's a really sweet thing to say. Come on, darken up. Okay, let's get those pupils in there. Like I think I said last time, none of these characters are actual, like, players in the story. They're just sort of background concepts. So I give them really small pupils so they seem uninteresting. At least that's how it works in my style. I know people whose style works the opposite way, but for me, that's usually a functional move. Okay, let me get some pupils in there. Top Blondie 77 says your line art is beautiful. Thank you. You know what? She's dark haired, so she's probably got darker eyes. So I'm gonna make that a little bit heavier. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? That'll do. And probably render the interior of the eye a bit more. All right, I'll put that rendering in, and then I will put in, well, yeah, render it. Hold on, we got some questions here. Your line art is beautiful. Caveates, you've changed your name a little bit. How many pupils do you have? I do not know if this is a question about eyeballs or a question about me having students. I don't have any students right now, if that is your question. And if the question is how many pupils do you have, you should know that. So it's probably about students. But not right now. No. It's been a while since I did that. That was kind of a test, and it was fine, but it wasn't great. And I think my time could have been used better. It did take up a lot of time for how little it paid. So, you live and learn. Many LOLs, so I'm going to assume it was the latter. All right, that's all caught up. Let me get the render here on here. Yeah, if you're asking me how many pupils I have, that you might be an alien. We might have to call someone because there's an alien in my live stream. What is the normal quantity of human pupils? Please inform. Attempt at humor. I think it ultimately caused some humor. All right. Oh, that's right. I was rendering. Darken it up just a little bit. There's some people who scoop out a whole part of the iris into black. I've never quite been brave enough to do that, but I'm getting there. Unless it's like a very, very dark-eyed character. Like in Midnight Vista, the protagonist had very dark eyes. He was Filipino and he had very, very dark eyes. So I just did them black, but sort of haloed in the pupil, the catch light on the edge of the pupil, like with Yoda. Where's my baby Yoda? Where did he go? Yeah, like this. Like this is an extreme example, but when you, if you have very, very dark eyes, you can indicate the location of the pupil with like catch light on the far side of the pupil. So that's a way to do very dark-eyed characters. But I think most of these characters' eyes are fairly mid-range. I need to post that baby Yoda for sale. That might generate some interest. Let's see. Finish. Come on. Stupid piece of tape. Attempted humor. Let's see. Go this way. Make sure it's drawing. All right, we'll let those dry, and then I'll come back over them. Let me finish that ear. As you get better at anatomy, do you find pages take you longer? No, actually. When you're better at anatomy, you're much more confident. You're able to essentially go faster a lot of times. Now, there are instances where getting better at anatomy means doing more work, but even then, it's worth it. For the most part, I have found myself going faster and just feeling more confident. Because there aren't unknowns. You don't have that whole like, well, I have no idea if this attempt is going to work out. Because you know it will. You actually know what you're doing. So yeah, it's definitely better all around. Now that I'm working mainly for myself, I'm worrying less and less about speed. Speed over quality. Quality lasts forever. Speed is only valuable once. Excuse me. What about elliptical pupils? So, again, not 100% with 100%. I'm exhausted. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure what the question meant. But, like, for example, let me get my pencil out here. If the eye is looking straight at you, like the rules of perspective are going to apply to the pupil as well. So if the eye is looking straight at you, the pupil is going to be round. But if the eye is looking sort of to the side, you're going to get more of a squash like that. And this is because the iris and pupil of the eyeball aren't flat on the surface of the round eyeball. Like, it's not like a Pixar eyeball where it just sits on there and moves around easily. They're actually, if you do a side view of like the eyeball itself, they're sort of like, they're inset like that. So that's the iris and pupil right there. So you need to be aware when you're angling the eyeball that if it's at an angle, if it's doing anything other than looking straight on, you're going to get some perspective. Your ellipse is going to compress somewhat. So hopefully that answers the question, unless it was another attempt at humor. Oh, okay, like dragon eyes. Principle's the same. Yeah, I mean, I think, pointy pupils like a skinny football. Yeah, you mean like reptile eyes. I was thinking of human eyes, but yeah, like that. I haven't done enough of those, honestly, to really know that much about it, but I would imagine it would be similar. Let me see here. Yeah, at an angle it would just get even thinner. Yeah. Well, you all got a surprise eyeball lesson there. And I know it seems like one of those things that's like, well, that's just very meticulous. You don't need that for cartooning. But it really brings so much more to the piece. Especially to the relatability of the character. Because, that's where it counts, is if you can relate to the character as a human. Or at least as a living thing. The eyes are very important. They bring a lot of life to the piece. Cartoon Crack just does like the side eye emoji. Very appropriate. All right, let's see. My voice? You like my voice? All right. My voice is just a pile of vocal fry. Here's my charger. Oh, I'm so hyped up. You know that thing where you have like all the adrenaline, but you're physically tired? All right, let's see. I guess nobody likes their own voice. Zach and I argue about whether or not his voice is good all the time. I think he has a good voice and he hates it. But we're both podcasting. What you gonna do? All right, where's my older? Okay, this is my oldest brush pen, so it's the most dried out. All right, let's see what I can do here. Let me start over on this side. All right, that seems to be working. As long as I'm careful with the light, it's not really relevant on this side because it's facing away from the light anyway. This is going to be mostly solid black. It's up here where the highlights hit that I'm going to need to be careful. So let me work outward. There we go. That's actually coming on pretty nice. Pert nice. I'm gonna have to remember this. That's really fun. Leave that a little bit highlight there. Oh, dry brush is glorious. There we go. I don't know if I should do these little side hairs with this, because those are so fine. Oops, dropped my cord. Just tape it to the table here so it doesn't fall. So Caveat says, do you have one style, or can you do comics in other styles like noir, or noir like Sin City? I can like lean in that direction. It's funny, there's people who can do that. There's people who have multiple styles, and there's people who can sort of supplement their style very effectively. I'm not one of those people. I don't know if it's just inexperience or just an inherent quality that I don't have. But one way or another, the short answer is no. Not that I have found. I think I pretty much just have the one look. Now, the one look is always updating as I learn and grow and improve. So hopefully it doesn't stagnate too much. But in terms of attempting other styles, even if I did it, I don't think it would look that much like the other style. It would still look like Clara's style with a touch of the attempted style, if that makes sense. What would my style be called? Oh gosh, I don't know. Comic styles in particular are all sort of on a spectrum. I would say it's like it's on the more realistic end of cartooning, I guess. But even that is very generous because it's not actually that realistic. It's more realistic than, say, like Charles Schultz or something. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Labeling styles is not really something we really do in comics, I get now that I think about it. Look how nice that came out. That's nice. Let's see. All right, now if I can just get these separate curly shapes, that'll be the test. Yeah, because describing comic styles is so much a part of sort of, criticism and review within comics that if we had proper names for all the styles, all that would be much simpler. But I think the reason we don't at the end of the day is that there's infinite styles. I think it's probably a forlorn hope to think we could name them. It would be cool, though. And you could prove your nerdiness by being able to, name all the styles. Caveat says, yeah, I've got ideas of styles in my head, but I don't know what to call them. Yeah, exactly. At a certain point, I like to allow a visual medium to just be a visual medium. That's not a criticism at all. I'm just describing how I sort of handle it. And I'm a wordy person. I originally wanted to be a writer, so I do tend to interpret things verbally, and in the written word and in prose. But even I, at a certain point with comics, am just willing to let it be completely visual. If you can't describe it, well, that's sort of good. That means it's doing its job. It's being entirely itself. Cartoon Crack is involved. Thank you. All right. See how quick and easy that was and how, like, natural and textural it feels? Still have to get here to figure out what to do with that. I will do... Hopefully that works. Because at this point you would actually see the hairs. That works pretty well, I think. Ooh. I have one of those coming down from adrenaline headaches. Oh, sorry, falling off the page there. I weirdly, like, popped off the center of a bunch of my nail polishes earlier today. That's what happens when you don't take the old stuff off before putting on new. The parts that get double layered are more likely to come off under strain. Let's see. Oh, there's a question. Hardest facial expression to draw. Facial expression? Anything with an open mouth is challenging before you fully understand the jaw and what goes on under the jaw and how much space it takes up and what the underside of the chin, like the soft part, like how that changes when the mouth is open. I mean, that's for when the mouth is open, like a lot for like a yell, but still, that can be very challenging. It's not as difficult as it used to be for me now because again, I'm learning. But I know that can be, that's still a challenge for me, I think. And anything with the eyes lowered, like the half closed eyes, like the hooded eyes, I'm getting a hang of that as well, but it's still pretty challenging. It's exciting though. I am getting it, and it opens up a whole new realm of possibilities for facial expressions. And I told you all I'd be drawing this today. Pardon me. Let me just finish this little hair clip, and then I will jump over to the mail cart. There's something very satisfying about just working on inanimate objects sometimes. Cartoon Crack says, I respect your work. Thank you. I appreciate that. So let's see, what should I do here? What should I do? I'm going to start with these little guys up here. These little mail bins. Hopefully that's not boring for you guys, but last time a couple people were really interested in seeing the mail cart close up, so figured I'd give them their chance. We've already done half a stream, I'm sure. No one will be offended if you want to call it a day. What size am I looking for? Here we go. All right, let's get these in here. This is a sort of instance where you, well, for me in my style at least, where it's helpful to switch to pens, because I like to let, man-made objects be a little more technical. You use technical pens as opposed to, more organic things like the human face or animals or plants, which more lend themselves to more organic tools like the brush. Those don't match very well. Joey says, I love the card. Yeah, Joey, I think it was you who wanted to see the card again last time. Which means I'm inadvertently doing this for you. What was the other question? Oh, the doctor. Firehawk says, where's the doctor? He will be a great character. Hopefully, He's already a great character. You just haven't seen him do anything yet. Here he is. Hello, yes. I'm the evil doctor. I wanted to really hit... Oh, that's a weird glare. I wanted to really hit some, like, weird fidgety hand gestures on him. So I'm going to try to always hit him doing, like, just sort of weird, nervous things with his hands. And this was a nightmare. This was a nightmare. I don't know what I've done to myself. The phone is such an important part of this story. And oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, what have I done? Well, I'll learn along the way. And here's my I'm going to do a quick teaser flash of the cover. Zoop. That was it. You're going to have to deal with it. Oh, wait, there's another question. Will the map rooms layout stuff be in the book, or is it for your own reference? I will include as much of it as I can in the regular version of the book. My plan right now is to make I don't know how familiar you are with Kickstarters, but to have a stretch goal that would include a better quality printing of the book, or a printing upgrade and more back matter, more of the stuff in the back of the book with all those sketches included. So the normal version of the book, if I hit my regular goal, will include some of those sketches. I'm not sure which ones. But the stretch goal will include considerably more stuff. So there's a motive for you guys. I'm going to upsell you guys too much. You've all been so generous. Oh, here it is. Yeah, caveat. You remember rotary phones. This is one of the things I talk about with, like, the older generations, comparing, like, what we actually know of historical context. I have seen a rotary phone, but I have never used one. So that's sort of my historical cutoff there. All right, I'm going to do these little ledges here. So yeah, inking inanimate objects like this is a different headspace. You sort of just go into a sort of a zen, because it's not about communicating the character, making a human who looks like a human and feels like a human and seems like a human in as many ways as you can manage to make them. It's more about creating a believable space, drawing on the detail you have just observed in everyday life. How do regular objects dent? What kind of shadows do they cast? That sort of thing. And it's a very deep mind palace where you just go into sort of thinking about everything you've ever seen. So it can be very relaxing working on objects. Firehawk says I need to get over to Kickstarter, I guess. I mean, it's not live yet. I still have to finish all the character designs and the first 8 pages to have a good pitch for you guys, but it's well underway. It's gonna happen, don't you worry. It should be this month, hopefully. I'm not making any hard promises because I'm working on a bunch of side things as well. But I put in a full day every day. I work hard. I suppose that's the most I have to answer for. These are a little bit sloppy. I don't love that. That's pretty good. If I have to amend that, I can definitely do it later. Andrew J. Brown. Hello, Farm Clara. Yes, that is I. I'm back from the farm. I went on a spontaneous farm visit because there's an adorable kitten on the farm now. That should be straight. Probably do this wood grain with brush, though. All right, let's see. See, caveat says we had a rotary phone. We just had one because we were poor, maybe short of or cheap. Dial tone was mostly the norm when I was a kid. Oh. Firehawk says, you make art a science. Art is a science. Art is a science. You can definitely empirically figure things out. You have all of the options are a science. The art is in choosing which option you go with. That's where the art of it is. Drawing is a science. Art is which parts of it you choose to use. All right, what am I doing here? So this is the inner seam, so it's going to be lighter, and I just freehand this one so it can be a little more organic. And have some natural wood shape to it. Andrew brought a badge too. Thank you, Andrew. Let's see. Do I want to, well, this one needs to, actually, I should use the small one. Actually, I should finish a sentence one of these days. I'll come back and do the smallest one on that, and if I have to up it, I will. Let me get the 3 for these containments and start on this stuff. Because these are all outsides, these are containment lines here. So we get the weird side view on these sort of bolts. Firehawk says, just appreciate all the time you take studying before you put pen to paper. And all the education I have that I'm still paying for. I'm actually close to paying it off. That's very exciting. But it's still a lot of education. Which is not to say, I shouldn't hit that so hard, because plenty of people do great without an art education. Zach, for example, does not have a drawing education. And he was better than me when he was born. It really just depends how much you're willing to apply yourself and learn, and it depends how you see. I think we talk a lot about talent. Talent as a concept is pretty overrated, I think. What it comes down to is how much you're willing to apply yourself and what your capacity is to see, to look and understand and see the detail in the natural world and translate that in your mind into drawing, to slide that over to the drawing side of your brain and use it. So there are some natural skills that do have to be present, but they're not necessarily the ones you would think of. Caveat says, I must be going. Have a great night. You as well, sir, and thank you. A little bit of render on that side there. Should have thought more about the handle hold on these, but no. Well, let's see. What can I do to... just texture it up a little bit. Well, let me do some of this wood grain. That should be fun to watch. I might close it out soon. Still running a headache and still have to run my groceries. More Creative says, that is basically what I told your dad years ago. Well, that just makes me believe it's true. Do I want to keep doing that? Let me try real quick with the smallest pen and see if that's what it looks like. Cartoon Crack just says, keep working. Okay. On it. There's the small one. Let's see. The handles could have some wear or rub marks from use. Agreed. I will probably get to that. It'll probably be like sort of little hatches. But let me see. Is that what I want to do? This guy is so little, it's hard to get the ink flowing. You know what? I'm going to use the brush. Make it more organic. Just like I was telling you guys earlier, keeping the organic stuff organic. What's more organic than wood? There's that coming along. Let's see, did I miss any comments? No. Okay. You guys are good. Nice, tiny light lines that just meander. Wood grain and hair do a similar thing in that you don't want the lines to just sort of end midway, unless it's like a highlight or something like that. You want it to all lead somewhere. Mikey B. Martinez. More creative says, great to see you creating. Say hi to Dad and Mom for me. Will do. Okay, there's that. I may come back to that later. It may need to be less or more, but for now that's a good start. And I was going to apply that over here as well. There's that. It's starting to feel like wood there. Get this paper package here. I'm going to get this paper package and then I will probably go. I miss these like profound, well, I never saw them, but I have nostalgia for this thing I've never experienced. These like paper parcels that used to be sufficient for shipping. I find them so cute. There you go. Wheeler, where you been? My streams have been like normal and just sort of casual. Can't keep up out here without you. There's that. Little package. Little strings on the package. Just like thin little strings. Little tied strings there. Wheeler says, sorry, I've been cheating on you with Anthony Wheeler. Well, can't say I blame you. I wouldn't be willing to let you go to anyone less worthy. He does have some pretty awesome stuff. I love his stuff. And I understand the appeal of having your namesake drawing in front of your eyes. That's got to be pretty cool. Alrighty. Wheeler says, I saw 2 of your rated R Zach lives, but you didn't notice me. I mean, I may have noticed you. Honestly, he is such a handful to keep up with. I may have just had to push it out of my brain to make room for the quips to keep up with him so he doesn't get too high and mighty. Let's see. I think, untape this here. I think I'm going to call that a day. We did a good 45 minutes. I know it's not the usual hour, but I am tuckered out, you guys. I did this face with you guys and parts of the mail cart. So anyway, thank you all so much, as always, and I will see you next week.